This episode of Inside Golf Podcast is brought to you by Inside Sports Network.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy, Boston Capital Twitter, Steve, on the Hold the Green podcast.
All right, we are live. Tap in, birdie.
All right, Carson Young is here.
I bet Ludvig at 28.
Let's go. I bet
You
him
do
at,
too?
I bet him at 25.
Low sevens. I think there's some guys in here we like.
Harris English at 7,300.
I love Brian Harmon at 3.5% this week.
Okay, friends. Another major in the books. Our final major of the year. We're live. We're live on YouTube. We were live after the U.S. Open. Kyle and I always go live after the Masters. There really isn't two guys I would want to talk golf with more than my two best friends whenever we have a major championship. So we're going to debrief what we saw over the last 4 days, as we always do for these majors. I'm joined, as always, on my left by Kyle Hewitt. How are you doing, my friend? How was your Open Championship?
It was like mediocre. I mean, like I didn't hit an outright.
No one did.
Scotty,
except Brian.
Brian,
I'll make the case.
Brian hit an each way. Congrats to him. No, it was fine. I mean, I wish it was closer. Obviously, but besides that, like no beef situation. I mean, when Scotty gains, I was joking with you guys. True, you got me situation when Scottie Scheffler gains 10 strokes with the putter. Not much you're going to be able to do to beat him when that happens. So 3 legs of the way to the Grand Slam, 4 in the last 4 years. Brian had a good
We'll get the golf history stuff.
Brian had a good stat about the, number of times he's won by like 4 plus. Really putting himself in some very high regard.
Are you dead at CUDA? We're going to be sure to wrap up by 9 Eastern because I think the CUDA, we have a back nine situation developing at the CUDA.
We had a back nine situation maybe developing, and then Ryan Gerard is looking like he's maybe going to maybe there's
Ryder Cup.
Ryder Cup. If he could win Barracuda.
My God.
Putter, the ball striking's been there.
Oh my God. Yeah. Brian, what are your thoughts from what you just watched over the last 4 days?
I thought, start with the golf course. I thought it was a fine Open.
I want to talk about the golf course a little bit.
I didn't think it was anything super special, but I came away remembering a lot of holes, which I feel like is always kind of a good barometer of how good the course is. I thought, we were kind of right on it. We thought, winning score 13, 14, 15. Scotty obviously got a lot higher, but if he wasn't
13 would have won it. If
13 would have won it, and the over-under from Vegas was 12.5. So there's still
easy
good.
Slam the over for us.
Who was that 13 again?
HE. His Excellency.
Yeah.
HE. Brian, Vic lap away. I mean, I even gave you a little bit of pushback. I said, I think you might be bargaining for a little too much. You've bit off a little too much that you could chew. Harris was so kind to us at the PGA Championship with his T2. Is Harris English really going to T2 another major? And what did he do? He solo another major. Can I ask you this? I mean, does it feel like hitting an outright? Because I think that
it feels more so like I didn't lose a crap ton of money this week,
right?
And I covered myself. So that's a Vic in my sense, but I'm not like floating in money. I just covered myself for the week and won a little bit of money.
And you don't even put positionals on it. So like you have the each way on Harris English, but like
I was honestly kind of rooting for him not to finish solo runner-up because then I could have made the case. If I bet that without favorites, I would have been paid out in full. But I didn't ever consider it this week. I had the each way, and I never bet without favorites in the majors. So it was a true no-beef situation.
I mean,
I don't care about Harris English. We probably talk about Scotty.
We will. How much did Harris English pay for it each way? Is it more money?
It was $400 on a $20 bet.
And you usually invest 500 a week on outrights.
Less now.
Yeah.
Less now.
Yeah. I mean, good call. Obviously, we should talk about Scotty first, but I have some more things to say about the golf course. I mean, there's plenty of things that I got right this week and plenty of things that I got wrong. And I got to be honest, I think a failure for me in terms of my content, because I did a lot of content this week and I didn't really talk a lot about the possibility of Scottie Scheffler like winning this golf tournament in a runaway. Like, I got to be honest, like I played a lot of Scottie Scheffler. He was in 40% of my DraftKings lineups. I liked him certainly more than I liked Rory because I thought that was kind of a difficult decision. I mean, actually, Rory was higher owned than Scotty this week. Like, if you go back and look at the ownership for this week, pre-tournament, it was really a 3-horse race between Rahm, Scotty, and Rory. And I kind of had it in my head. I ranked them. Rahm, obviously, first. We can talk about the disappointment of Rahm. Scotty, second. And then Rory, third. But, like, do you guys regret not thinking about and talking about more the potential that Scottie Scheffler was going to?
No, I don't, because I think the putting at the Open and the Scottish was over a large enough sample size that it felt real. But one thing Scotty's done really well in his career is prove any sort of doubt on his resume wrong immediately. And he goes out and leads the field in putting. I think that is extremely surprising given how he's putted on, overseas courses, this, Rye, Fescue, whatever types of greens. It was over a large sample size that he just hadn't done it.
Yeah, it was like 7 or 8 tournaments that he hadn't gained strokes putting on this surface ever.
Yeah. So that's where it's tougher. And also the books are in agreement that he's less likely to win an Open than other majors. I mean, he crept up to that 4.5, 5-1, which, he usually isn't. He was like 3-1 at the US Open. So, we've said it's a more volatile event, open to more people, and everything like that. So I think at an Open, we were all willing to take him on in the outright market, and he made us look very silly. But there's really no knock on him that you could have. He just answers the bell every single time.
What do you think, Kyle? Because it's not like we don't bet the without market times. Like, I would say that between the three of us, we definitely are like properly scared of Scotty and big Scotty appreciators compared to, like, I think a lot of people just generally in the betting community look to discredit Scotty every opportunity they can get. And I totally understand that, because if you're a golf bettor or DFS player, the question that you have to answer every single week is, how can I think of reasons how Scottie Scheffler is not going to win this golf tournament? And I mean, I got to be honest with you guys, this is a failure for me. Like, I didn't really consider the without market, which is like, again, I've bet the without market multiple times, and I didn't really consider it this way because I didn't think something like this was in play. What are your thoughts on what you just saw? And do you have more regrets that, because like the betting board we nailed, like in terms of the guys that finished top 15, like there was definitely healthy opportunities for us to build like some awesome wit cards if we were playing the without market.
Yeah, I mean, I like have bet the without market most other weeks.
Yeah, you bet it a ton
this year. I mean, I obviously like regretted it. Thankfully it didn't come back to bite me, because like Fitz didn't end up winning. Like Fitz was the guy that I had closest in the mix.
Which, by the way, Fitz and Haotong were top 5 for pretty much the entire tournament.
Yeah, so
good play on Fitz.
Yeah, but I played a lot of Scotty, in DFS. He was in my single entry, so like I was scared. Like I wasn't of the opinion that Scotty could. Not that any of us were. I wasn't of the opinion that Scotty couldn't win this golf tournament. Like I think that maybe, like, Scotty wasn't going to come overseas, for 10 years and never flip the putter, right? Like eventually it was going to happen. He won the Olympics. I don't know what type of fucking grass it was,
Bent grass.
There, but he still won. He's won overseas.
We'll get to the golf national. I think
he's
it's a good comp for 3M.
Yeah, he's also So Scotty was in the field. Would love him at 3M this week. But he's played well at the Scottish before. He's got top 5 finish there. It's not like Scotty's never played well overseas. And I think at times, I was joking with Andy and Brian about this. It was like, and look, I was a victim of this too, to a certain extent, is like, because you try to find reasons to fade Scotty. Everybody this week is talking about, like, everybody who's talking, quote unquote nose ball and is talking golf this week and is talking about outrights is talking about, like, more willingness to take on Scotty because of the putter. And then, through 2.5 rounds, he's gained 7.5 strokes putting. And it's just like, you're just like laughing, at that point when, I think Andy said before as well, like, if I could guess one stat about any player,
Scotty's putter
and Scotty putt. And
if
you're never Scottie Scheffler is never going to lose a golf tournament if he gains 10 strokes putting. It's just never, like, it's never going to fucking happen, especially this version of Scotty. So, but no, I mean, look, I think we were properly scared of him. I think we, maybe more reason to just, I think we always find ways to not bet Scotty, with Scotty or take him on. And for me, like, I think this is more, from a gambling standpoint, a confirmation of the fact that I don't want to take him on in tournaments on an ongoing basis. And I don't really care anymore kind of what course that's at, if that makes sense. I'm probably just, when Scotty tees it up, I'm probably just betting without Scotty. I'm not as scared as Rory. I'm not as scared of Rob. I'm not as scared of anybody else, right, except for him. So that'd be my big gambling takeaway.
I got to say, I didn't think he was going to win the tournament before the tournament started. But can
I interrupt and just say how quickly did it take you to think like fuck, like, Scott?
And I don't know if your experience is different because you had Fets, but I have to be honest, as soon as the golf tournament started, I just was like, oh, Scotty has figured it out on the greens. Like, it wasn't a slow buildup. Like, he led the first round in strokes gained putting. Like, you knew very quickly with Scotty that it was like, oh, he's just figured it out on these greens. And he was playing with so much confidence from start to finish. And generally, what it's basically turned into with Scotty, I don't have like data to back this up. This is more eye test, but it feels like if Scotty gets off to a hot start in round 1 at major championships, he's going to stay there. The majors that he doesn't win are generally the ones it feels like where he starts farther back and he has to work his way into the top 10 as the tournament progresses. But, like, I hate to be that guy and be hyperbolic and beckon the Vince Carter gift, but like, generally when Scotty starts a major championship in the top 5, he closes. He wins.
Yeah, I thought his first round
conversion rate, he's converted 10, or his majors have been, I don't know.
He was leading every major that
4 out of 4 majors, 54 holes. It's his 10th straight victory with leading the tournament after 54 holes. Yeah. So he's got that, closer in him. And just to say one more thing, I know Brian has something to say. Like, I always think, like, the quote that, like, says the most about Scotty, like what he himself has said is, like, I'm not going to come back to you. Like, if you're going to beat me, you're going to have to go out and you're going to have to get me. And that's what's so hard about him. He's so good to Andy, to your point, once he gets himself in that mix and the course is playing so hard, he's so good at just fucking keeping himself right there. Every time you think he gives something back, he makes a big putt. Or how many times, Brian, and I'll transition to you, like, we were joking, he hit it in a bush and we were like, oh, he's dead. And then he hits it out to 9 feet and he fucking makes a par putt. And we're like, how the fuck has this guy not dropped a shot? So it's crazy from all that. So,
Brian, say what you were going to say first, because my next take,
I don't even know what I was going to say. It was so long ago. No, it was like
Kyle's been super
was
good at the runtime. Like
no,
both
of you. No. It was like he was playing a video game and you couldn't make a bogey. Like that's what it was like the last 2 days. Like he was incapable of making a bogey.
And the golf
no matter
course
what
wasn't.
situation.
The golf course wasn't helping with that.
No, and he was holding back off the tee. He was just wiping around a slappy cut in the center of the fairway and just hitting superb iron shots all day. And the putter was just super hot. Like he was, and again, what we said about the course were like accuracy over distance, middle iron play, like got to make a ton of 10.
Which is exactly how it played out on Thursday when the weather was what the weather I hoped was going to be.
But yeah, I thought the greens did not have that same burnt, feel as some other open courses. They felt very Americanized greens.
Totally.
Like they weren't anything crazy, and they felt like they were running pretty true. I know they were probably running at like an 11.5, 12 or whatever. They weren't
slow.
like
They were pretty slow and receptive because, as you guys saw on Thursday, the golf course got so much rain.
Yeah.
And then just to add to Brian's point, he finally makes a bogey. He double bogeys the hole where he puts in the bunker, he hits it into the lip, and then very next hole, driver hits an iron to 4 feet, taps in for birdie, and right.
Kyle, he leads the tour in bogey avoidance, and he leads the tour in bounce back percentage. It's like, okay, he's going to be the greatest golfer since Tiger. Like, you got me. I don't know how that's never not going to play.
34% was what I saw the bounce back percenentages. How insane is that?
Yeah, it's insane. That's insane.
Absurd.
Do you guys want to go in the direction of golf history or put a bow on the golf course?
I say let's talk how many majors we think he's going to finish his career with.
So I got to be honest, I don't know if you guys had a similar experience, but this was the first time that I felt to myself like, oh, Scottie Scheffler, his ceiling is everything but Tiger and Jack. I got to be honest, that thought just didn't, his ceiling, that thought didn't cross my head. Listen, I've been saying this on Twitter a little bit. Personally, I think right now, the Scotty Tiger comps and the Scotty Jack Nicklaus comps, I understand why people are doing that, but there are a lot of stops on that journey that he needs to hit first that I think are a lot more responsible comps that, to be honest with you, I hadn't even really been thinking of prior to this day. Like, I hadn't even had the thought in my mind before today, who's going to have a better career in the modern era, Rory or Scotty. Like, I didn't think about that. Like, when Rory won the Masters, the comp that we kept making was Rory versus Phil.
Yeah.
And this was the first time where I mean, it's actually like crazy for Rory that he wins the Masters, wins the career Grand Slam, and he gets like a couple months of living.
As soon as Scotty won the PGA, it's like he's going to win the career Grand Slam. Like,
right. And Scotty now suddenly becomes the proverbial best golfer of that generation, even though Rory has been essentially working to get, and it just so happens at this point in history that Scotty gets to not the same milestone, but a milestone that's going to get you thinking about Scotty's place in history as well. So I got to be honest with you, like, this was the first time, and I can run through the numbers of like the pace that Scotty's on and what Scotty actually has to do to like pass Arnold Palmer and pass Ben Hogan and pass Rory McIlroy and stuff like that. But I have to be honest, today was the first time where I was like, wow, this is one of the 5 to 7 best humans to ever pick up a golf club.
I agree. I think he's going to get there. I think, again, the question marks were around his putting overseas or him not winning, a standard PGA Tour setup, and he just answers the bell every single time. I think the over-under right now, Andy, would you set it at 7.5 or 8.5? I think it's probably 7.5.
Okay, so let's do this. He's at 4 now, and in 10 years, he's going to be 39 years old, which is like crazy to think about because like There are a lot of guys that, have won majors well into their 40s like Phil. But let's say that he starts to see a decline at 39 years old, like many other PGA Tour players, even though we can talk about his longevity and like the fact that he doesn't have an injury and stuff like that. But how many of the next 40 do you think he wins? Right now, his pace is basically he's played in 25 majors and he's won 4. So he's not quite at 20%. And I think he's still like, he didn't win his first 9 majors. And then of the last 15, Scotty's won 4 of the last 16 majors, 4 of the last 15 majors.
I mean, I think if he gets to 9 majors, he is a top 6, 7 golfer of all time. But 9 seems like a lot. Like I don't.
And let me ask you this question: how many wins a year for the next decade do you think is a fair average? Last year he won 7 times. This year he's won 4.
I think he's like a lock for 3 wins a year.
I think 3 wins a year seems pretty fair. Kyle, what do you think about majors?
Yeah, so like I just was thinking about it, and Brian, like 9 is a lot. Like I agree, but then I just thought about it this way: he's got 4, and if for the next 5 years he's in his prime, right? I
would argue for the next 10 years he's in his prime.
But don't even go 10. Don't even go 10. He's got 4, and if he's in his prime for the next 5, his over under for majors per year for the next 5 is going to be half, right? That's in my mind. Every single year, he's going to be like his over under for me is half a major, right? Like he's going to be live. He's going to be live at every
every other year.
He's going to be live at every Masters, which in and of itself is crazy, right? Like you could put a lot of that line into just how good he is at the Masters, and then he's going to pop up at one of these other ones. So 9, he could, 8.5. Is where I think set the line. You know why as well? Because we've done this now so many times.
I think so too.
We're like, what's the line? What's the line? And we keep bumping it out. We're like, it seems a little high. And I think I'm just ready to be like, it should be 8.5. Like
that's the case. So exactly what Fighting Irish is saying is, would anyone have believed Rory would win a major for 11 years?
Yeah, but I think a lot of people are like, it's just different with Scotty.
It feels different with Scotty.
I agree, but I think it's a fair point to put out. So let's actually just quickly walk through that and see what happens to him statistically if we settle on a major every other year, which is 5, and 3 wins a year. So that puts him at 30 more wins and 5 more majors. That brings him to a total of 9 majors and 46 wins. And I got to tell you, man, that's Ben Hogan's career. That's the 3rd best golfer of all time.
3rd best golfer of all time.
Yeah, that's Ben Hogan's career. And we are saying that feels realistic for Scotty before his 40th birthday.
But also you have to throw in that he's just literally going to be live at Augusta until he's 45. Like he's truly going to be. We're going to Augusta every single year, and it's probably his best course fit, other than like Memorial on the entire PGA Tour.
Yeah.
So I mean, he's going to win 2 or 3 more Masters. But I will say, I don't think he's going to win. Like I think he will struggle at the U.S. Open. I don't think he's just going to win the cock next year.
Has the U.S. Open suddenly become his worst major just because he won a Open?
Yeah, I mean,
he's actually strokes gain wise, he's pretty even in all 4 now. I don't think he has a week.
His last 2 U.S. Opens have been poor.
Yeah, that's fair.
And like I don't know, like
actually, let me effort to give you the most accurate numbers.
Like we're going to Marion, we're going to Pebble, we're going to the Cock.
So
I don't know. I think he will struggle at Shinnecock next year.
I don't think he's going to struggle. Like if we're talking struggle, like I think it's all a relative term. Like we just said, he didn't play well at the U.S. Open this year. He finished 7th. Like I mean. He's such a good golf course fit. He's such a good.
I'm out.
Again, this is just like I feel like us. Like it's the next thing we're like trying to, be like.
And that's what we do in the gambling community. And I think it's like just in terms of golf knowledge, it's a red flag. Like I think if you're discrediting, I understand when you're talking about long term, generally in these conversations, when you're getting into like a argument with somebody about the over under on majors, you always want to lean under.
Yes.
Just because like people forget how hard it is to win majors. There's 4 of them a year, whatever. But I feel like giving Scotty a major every other year, we're being hyper conservative on that over.
Very conservative. Very conservative.
And
he's going to have a couple PGA championships at like PGA Frisco, where he's going to be in his backyard.
Yeah, Frisco. I would lock him in at Frisco.
Frisco home game.
Yeah.
There's I think most people would have said the Open would have been the toughest major for him to win. So like I feel like he's going to win a US Open. It's just a matter of it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And also like the last thing like just on the Scotty thing, because we've said a lot.
Yeah, we'll move on shortly.
Is like in terms of the feeling different, like these guys, like Rory, had moments where he won Congressional and he ran away with it. And, that was an amazing week. Like, it just feels like, and maybe it's the bounce back stats, maybe it's the bogey avoidance stats, maybe it's all of that stuff. Like, it feels like this guy doesn't get phased like some of these other guys who we've seen in their careers. And I'm the first one to not want to be a prisoner of the moment, but he feels, and I've been very hesitant to say it. It's starting to feel different with him in terms of how good he is. He's not winning these tournaments. He's winning these tournaments with the best guys in the field frequently by multiple shots. And it just keeps on happening. So
yeah, I think the difference between him and Rory is that he's so consistently good on the PGA Tour. When Rory went on that 4-year run, he wasn't winning PGA Tour events at the clip Scotty was and finishing in the top 10 every week. Like he just never lets up, and he's just so goddamn consistent that it's just like I don't see how he doesn't get to 7 or 8 majors.
Last thing I'll say about Scotty, because there's other stuff I want to recap about the Open, and then we got to look at the 3M odds board as well. We have a hard cutoff at like 8:30ish, 8:45 anyway, because we want to give Steve will be the star of the show tonight for our 3M Open preview. Do you think it's like good for golf, this thing that we have with Scotty now, where in this era we have a guy that's almost assuredly going to he's a historically great player. Like we have kind of long answered the question, in the post Tiger era, is there ever going to be another superstar like Tiger? The answer is 100% no, but is there ever going to be somebody that emerges as like the storyline every single week when he is playing a golf tournament or a major championship, is now that he's chasing history? And so every single major is historically relevant if Scottie Scheffler's in it. Do you think that's good, bad, somewhere in between? Are we ready for that? I got to say, like the quote at the beginning of the week, God, we really milked that one. I just like I don't know how I feel about Scotty being like the biggest storyline in golf every week, but it also has to be him too.
I think it's a good thing. Like I think superstars for any sports, guys that are dominant for any sport, guys that bring eyeballs. Scotty might not be the most interesting guy, but he's bringing eyeballs to the PGA Tour. The numbers have been amazing this year, and I do think he's a big part of it. And his dominance, I think, has been a main talking point. So like I don't think that's a quote unquote bad thing. Look, I joke around with Scotty and Bennett and all
your Bennett takes were hilarious in the Discord.
Yeah, which
the minute Scotty won, Kyle was like, all right, I'm sick of this fucking kid.
He was so cute. I'm not like a huge kid guy. But
I was going to say, if Natalie's still in the chat, don't get her started on Bennett, because she's like, she loves that stuff. You have to realize, Kyle, the family stuff for people that aren't insane betting degenerates like us, that's like their favorite part of the tournament. That's what makes everything whole.
No, I was just saying how like
I know.
He's a scumbag.
Yeah, he's a terrible human being. Still want more details about that quote unquote ravioli injury. Think that was pretty suspicious way of throwing some other stuff that happened that night. Anyway, we don't need to get that's not for
I did not know Kyle was red pilled on Scotty's injury.
No, I'm
I don't think it's a red pill thing. I just think Kyle hates just hates infants.
No, I'm totally kidding. Like Scott again, like I would everybody.
I know you are.
Even the stuff that's like this conversation is the reason Scotty is a good thing, right? Like we're talking about, is this guy like acting like a superstar in the right way, and like he doesn't have to act any way he wants. That's part of what is so cool about having that kind of stardom. I'm with Andy. I thought the quote was like weird, whatever. It's also like, dude, we get it. Like you love your family,
just think that, like,
you love your faith.
People got
winning
that.
golf tournament. You're allowed to like winning golf tournaments, right? Like we're not going to judge you because like you won a golf tournament. Like it's cool. We got like no beef
from us situation, Scotty. Like you're good, man.
Yeah, but no, I think it's a good thing for the sport.
Well, I honestly think his pressers have been a lot more interesting. I really enjoy his pressers. I think he says a lot of insightful things. I get a little bit irritated when he gets asked about very simple golf things, and he says, I really don't think about that stuff. I don't think about completing the career Grand Slam. Like, I don't really think about being the best golfer in the world. Like, that gets me a little.
I don't think that's like that interesting of a take, though.
Yeah, I just wish he said more like that. Honestly. I thought the quote earlier in the week got overblown, but I think that we can relate to it in a sense. Once we hit it outright, we're on to the next day's odds board and trying to find the winner. Like it's a fleeting feeling a little bit, and he obviously cares about a lot of other things than golf. I would like to see him celebrate a little bit more before he won a major. I thought he was a lot more animated at the PGA. He really didn't show any emotion this week other than like one par save. Where at the PGA, I thought he really, showed out and showed a lot of emotion, and I really enjoyed that. But the Open, he wasn't like that.
I think part of it was easier because he was making everything too.
I do think one thing Brian said that like, and we were talking about like, I do think the quote, well, maybe it was a little bit like tone deaf or whatever you want to call it. Like, I think that's part of what makes Scotty great. Like, he's literally like, I'm on to the next thing so quickly. Even like Tiger, right? Like you talk about and this is different than Rory, right? Rory who won and literally like the next major came up and he was like, I'm like lacking motivation. Like Tiger Woods would never fucking say something like that. Tiger could win 10 tournaments and then the next tournament could be some slapdick fucking event that he had to play in. And he would never say that I'm not motivated to win this golf tournament. And I do think Scotty, that's part of what makes him great is he loves winning golf tournaments. He's super competitive. And once he wins, he appreciates it, but it doesn't define him. And he's able to just like it. He moves on from it quickly where maybe it does define other guys and it takes over their lives and it becomes a bigger part of them. So
you obviously don't get to where you're at without the best mental game on the PGA Tour. Like you have to remember that there isn't some sort of physical advantage that Scottie Scheffler is imposing over other golfers. Like it's not like he drives the ball 350 yards longer than any other player on the PGA Tour. Like his greatest skill is his course management and his mind, and his iron play, I would say. I mean, I think that he is probably the best iron player since Tiger. Like I'm not comping him to Tiger, but I think that's a fair comparison. Like he shot way above. I know we talked about Colin Morikawa as like the best iron player of his generation. Scotty is miles ahead of Colin Morikawa
and I also think even to a casual fan, you watch him play golf and you're like, yo, he just hits the proper iron shot every single time. He just hits it pin high every single time. And it's just like, yeah, dude, like you don't have to be, deep in the weeds or anything to appreciate his iron play. Yeah, I think that's the thing that stands out most to the average fan.
I just want to.
What was the hole on just to emphasize your guys' point? What was the par 3 hole on the back 9?
16.
He birdied it 3 out of the 4 times this week. It was playing 230
Dude,
yards.
by the way, talk about like the most overhyped. I have some things to say about the golf course. Talk about the most overhyped whole Calamity Corner. What calamity was there? Scotty birdied it like 4 times. They also didn't play it to 235 yards like half the days. In round
long
1, it
irons
was
are a joke.
200.
People
His
were
long
not
irons are a
birdieing.
joke.
People were not birdieing that hole though, and he birdied it 3 times. So
Totally, 100%.
that was
Well,
like
actually, what's interesting is he never birdied 12.
no, which is the easiest hole on the golf course.
Which is the easiest hole on the golf course. Yeah. I gotta say one thing about the golf course, because like I do have to be honest, based on how much this is going to be like 50% flex, 50% apology, more apology actually. But like there is very little things in terms of how golf courses play that surprise me anymore. Like I have a good sense of it. Like I've just gotten really dialed in my process of how golf courses are going to play. It's generally what I'm best at above any other skill. It's better than picking golfers, better than communicating. Writing is like knowing how pro golf courses are going to play. And so it happens very rarely when something that I see in a golf course genuinely surprises me. And I have to say, guys, I was not surprised by the lack of wind. That forecast, we knew that was going to happen. That forecast wasn't anything crazy. We talked about how it was going to be easier. You know, we predicted, slam the under 12.5, 13%. I have to say, guys, and it wasn't the case on Thursday, because Thursday, when it was raining, it was a real problem if you missed the fairway, and the missed fairway penalty was super, super high. But I have to say, guys, I was genuinely shocked about how easy it was for guys to get clubs through the rough on this golf course. I did not see that coming at all. Shocked, really genuinely surprised. It just felt like, and I don't know, maybe it was always because they were just showing the guys that were in contention that all got good lies. But can you guys remember over the weekend, like rarely ever seeing guys, if they missed fairways in that rough, get truly boned.
There were like small pockets where you were boned, but like a lot of the surrounding areas off the fairway were like totally
hand
boned.
up. I did not expect it to be that easy to recover on this golf course at all. I was shocked by that. And it was a big missed fairway penalty in round 1, because I think when that grass gets wet and it's raining, it's way harder to grip the club and get a consistent swing through that stuff when it's wet. But if it's not raining and it's just kind of like dry and wispy, guys were not getting penalized at all for bad drives, errant drives in the final rounds. They were on Thursday, but in the final 2 rounds, it wasn't happening, Kyle.
No, I mean, I was surprised. To me, what was funny was a lot of times, like Scotty hit one on Saturday where I was like, oh, he's dead, like literally dead. I didn't even think they were going to be able to find the ball. They found the ball. The lie looked terrible, and then he goes up and he hits it, and he's like 20 yards short of the green. And I was like, how the fuck did he advance the ball that far? I will say the bunkers, and I know we're not arguing this, but the bunkers were very penal. They were full shot.
They were totally, but there wasn't a lot of them.
Yes. But no, I agree. There was a lot of times. There was a lot of times where the ball went in the fescue, and I was like, "Oh, that guy's dead." And then the next thing I know, like they're right next to the hole, or they're a lot closer than you would have thought they would have been able to get to from where they hit the ball. So I was surprised in that regard as well.
Yeah, I just have to say, like, that's the stuff I pride myself on more than anything. So when I get a miss like that, I definitely want to identify it and see where I could be better and take accountability for it. I don't know what the missed fairway penalty is going to end up on Data Golf. I don't really care that much, because I think there's a whole other podcast, but some of the stuff with Data Golf around major championships, there's just some nuance there that is important. Like, for example, some of the strokes gained stuff. Andy Johnson was talking about on the fried egg, and I thought it was a really good point. all of the strokes gained from Sunday from like contenders, especially somebody like Rory McIlroy, every single player on Sunday was trying to like aggressively play their shoes off and make a ton of birdies. Like, and a lot of strokes gain is communicated by course management and where you hit approach shots and stuff like that. And nobody on that leaderboard on Sunday was trying to optimally gain strokes. They're trying to make a million birdies and find some way to catch Scottie Scheffler. So the broader point is just there are some nuances that you're going to run into at major championships. But I got to say, guys, I haven't been that surprised at seeing something on a golf course all season. Was just like how consistently easy it felt. And I don't know if it would have like changed much in terms of my guys. The guys that I thought were going to play well, I expected to play well, but let's transition us into biggest Vic and biggest apology before we finish up with 3M. We do this for every major. Do you want to start, Brian? Vic last, apology.
I usually, like when Harman won the Open in 2023, I wasn't telling everybody I knew Harman's winning the Open. Like I was kind of like, I'll bet him. Like he's probably.
I remember.
And like this week, I was like, nah, like Harris English is winning this golf tournament. Like I feel really strongly about it. I love it.
We have the
so I said it a million times. And he played well all week, Monday through Friday. The Friday round was a little bit disappointing, but he played unbelievable and he played exactly how I wanted.
Dude, I think Steel Freak is Ven.
Yeah, I think I don't think that's true.
Why not?
And then
really just references power rankings.
I think I think he was just making.
Who else does power rankings for Lev? Well, either way, Ben, welcome.
And then I would say there's a 0% chance Ben is watching this. I would say my biggest L. Maybe.
Oh my God, I have a bunch that I can think of right now.
Maybe betting Ben Griffin. Maybe not betting Harris without Scotty. I don't have much. I don't feel like I have much.
I forgot. I just give like 100 more takes than you per week, so it's easier for. I'm just gonna swing and miss a lot more with more balls in
Kyle?
the air. Harris was an amazing call, Brian.
I was really high on Fitz, so I'll Vic lap.
Fitz was the only outright I thought was going to play well. All the other, I wasn't confident in any of my other plays other than Fitz. He just happens to be playing well. Also nailed the weather, by the way.
Yeah, but I had a good outright card. I just didn't have.
You did.
I didn't have. I had Xander, who I thought played well. So card was good, but Scotty was Scotty, so that was tough. I'd say 2 apologies. One from the show, obviously, was Minwoo Lee. I said was a good play, missed the cut, so take that one on the chin. And then I think for all of ISN, not that this guy killed anybody or anything, but if you looked at the insider sheet, everyone faded for the most part Bryson, who after round one,
I want to talk about that.
After round one was incredibly impressive. And I bet you he's wishing he could have his round one back with how well he played Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Well, round one was the only day you had a missed fairway penalty.
Yeah, which is crazy. But he climbed the leaderboard super impressively, and tip the cap to him. I think a lot of guys go out, shoot +5, and they don't really care. And he not only fought to make the cut, but then had a great weekend. So
I think he was upset with the Grant Horvat news on Thursday, and
must have been
just had to get over that.
Yeah, so he was a little out of sorts on Thursday, but yeah, that was I didn't see Bryson. Not that I didn't think it was in the realm of possibilities, but I didn't think he was going to play well this week. I really didn't, and he hasn't been playing well. He hasn't only not been playing well. He hasn't been playing well on Live, which he was previously doing.
Yeah. Oh, Phoenix, don't worry. I absolutely will. But I have to say, I'm going to have to ask for 2 apologies because I actually don't think that Bryson was my worst take of the week. I mean, I got to say, I thought it was a really bad spot for Bryson, so much to the point that like even at his current ownership, I wasn't willing to go there. And anyone at low ownership, I am always a huge advocate for in majors because it always, like, there's always somebody at majors that, and Bryson was the guy this week. I thought it was going to be Colin Moriflower, but there's always a really good player at majors that is low owned and is not the course fit that you think about, but just like shows up for the major championship and fucking plays really well. And Bryson was that guy this week. And I don't really know if Bryson made you a lot of money this week in DFS, because I had a sweat on Sunday and every single lineup in the top 50 of that contest, it was just Scotty. And if you didn't have Scotty this week, dead, forget about it. Like, I know Rory played well. You had to have Scotty. Every single lineup that I was playing against had Scotty in some way, shape, or form. And I will say that I do think at the end of the day, the way to start your DraftKings this week lineups was Bryson Scotty. Was Scotty Xander. Scotty Xander, whatever. But on Bryson, what I thought was really interesting was the day that he struggled was the day that there was a real missed fairway penalty and then lengths conditions. And then the 3 following days, the golf course played 0.5 strokes under par, a stroke under par, and a stroke under par. And those were better conditions for Bryson than I would have thought. But it still takes a lot of guts and just the willingness to stick in a tournament. And I think if there's anything that I'm walking away from Bryson, this was a golf course ultimately where just off the tee mattered, right? And over the last 3 days, it was a little more distance than accuracy than I would have expected. And any golf course where off the tee matters and is a big part of the equation, it's a first shot golf course. Bryson is just fucking live, man. He just is such a great driver of the ball, and kind of the accuracy came back for him a little bit this week, which was nice to see even over the last couple of days.
It's good to see because we need Americans playing well. Right?
We need them at Bethpage.
Also, Wyndham, I thought incredibly impressive last 54 holes. And talk about overcoming adversity. Like what a hard season it's been on him.
Wait, can I say one more apology? In terms of Vic Laps, I had a lot of just like random low-owned guys.
Jordan Smith.
4 cut that all finished top 30 per usual. Ricky Fowler, Hideki Matsuyama, Corey Connors.
Rick was a good call.
Yeah, those are all key pieces for me in a good DraftKings lineup. I do have to say, like, I think it's gotten to the point where my view of Patrick Cantlay is the biggest blind spot in my career as a bettor.
At what point?
They'll have a chapter in your autobiography about it.
I have to be honest, guys. Like, I will just fully take it on the chin because, obviously I feel this is a safe space and I get enough things right every week that I don't mind being honest about my shortcomings. I think this
week.
I think, well, we can get to Morikawa too. The difference between Cantlay and Morikawa was more of an ownership play for me. I thought Cantlay could win the golf tournament. Cantlay was the first bet that I made. I bet Cantlay at 70-1 and was like, guys, I think we've been waiting for all year for this. This is the perfect buy low. His DraftKings price his betting number isn't getting any lower. Patrick Cantlay should never be 70-1 at a major, ever. He's never been 71 at a major since he was a good player. And I don't know, guys. What do I do?
I've got a question.
Yeah, ask away.
I'm curious both of your perspective. I understand Cantlay and Colin are quote unquote world class players. Well, at what point are these guys not locks for the Ryder Cup team?
I tweeted that thing out.
I think
Friday.
it's the point. It's the point where the back half of the team is shit. And you would
what about a guy like Goddard now who's coming up and playing?
We'll talk about. Don't worry. I just want to put a bow on Cantlay real quick. The other thing I was shocked about, I don't know. Did you guys read the comments ever to these tweets that like go mini viral in the golf space? I couldn't keep up with them. People hate Cantlay.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Cantlay.
I don't get it.
People absolutely despise him. Like I tweeted, should Cantlay be on the Ryder Cup team? And people are like furious that I even asked the question. He's definitely in the conversation to be on the Ryder Cup team.
He's way more likely to be on it than not. But like I don't think it's warranted. That's my point about
I think
it.
I kind of have to be with you, Kyle.
I don't think him or Colin are doing anything right now. And like another guy too, and like Brian might fight me for this, but like what Justin Thomas has had like after the win, he's done nothing.
How did Justin Thomas play this week? I didn't consider him.
He made the cut. I think he finished like T25.
Look at his resume. Look at his starts at major championships in the past 3 years. Bethpage Black is a major championship golfer.
And JT has significantly lowered his baseline at majors compared to other great players.
Yeah, so there's just guys, and look, I understand it, and I'm not saying none of these guys deserve to be on the team. I just think like at some point it needs to be a conversation when you have other guys who are coming on really strong right now. Like at what point do you take the form? If Goddard and Ben Griffin continue to be on the form they're on, it has to be a conversation that, you know, these guys are on the team over at least one of these other guys. So I don't know.
Yeah, I just think that everyone loves to do this for the Americans, and you know, Ludvig has significally fallen off since
nowhere
Justice.
close.
And,
in my opinion, Ludvig falling off has been nowhere close to Cantlay, Morikawa, or JT. Me personally, his falling off.
I think it's pretty comparable.
Well, let's just look. Like, if you just look at like what period do you think is the best thing to look at?
Like Sepp's missed
Ryder
the
Cup.
cut in 3 out of 4 majors.
Okay, but
I'll give you Sepp, but
I-
I don't think. Yeah, I'll give you.
Can I ask you guys a question? When you're like assessing the time period that you care about for the Ryder Cup,
Kyle's
do you want to look at? Do you want to look at 12 months, 6 months, 2 years?
I think
Like,
6 months.
Give me a time period.
I think 6 months. Kyle,
Okay,
why are you dark?
Oh, I don't know.
Okay, so I mean, in terms of like the data golf ranking, and I think this is going to drop a little bit lower after he missed the cut at the Open Championship. But Cantlay is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He's the 8th best American for the data golf ranking. But then if you go, which is a little more long term, but then if you go to overall strokes gained records, he's farther down.
Just while you're pulling that up, Cantlay this year at major championships, 36 cut. That's his stat. That's him at a major championship.
He's had it down.
He's been terrible at majors.
He's had a down year. I don't think I don't need to get into conversations on Twitter with people that are like, yeah, we don't need to take Colin or Cantlay. Like, it's just, sure, it's a fun Twitter conversation, but it's just not going to happen. So that's kind of where it just feels moot to me, because the back half of this team is not as strong as it used to be. So it's like, yeah, I'd rather have fucking Cantlay and Morikawa on the team over Novak and Ben Griffin, or like,
yeah, I mean, it's really interesting. His strokes gained isn't that bad. I think it's just because we have high expectations for him.
I'd rather have Goddard up on the team playing at an incredibly high level.
I agree. I think you can have both, though.
If you can have both, like that's where it's like, oh, we need to take Goddard up over Collins. It's like, dude, it's not a conversation. Like that. Like I think there's one spot open.
It's starting to get to the point where I don't think that like there's Harris English is probably on the team now. Like,
he's 100% and deserving.
Like,
I think there's one spot. I think there's two spots.
I don't agree with you saying like it could be a both situation. I don't think it can. I don't think it can be. I don't think it can be both of these guys. That's my point. And
by the way, Troy is Mexico.
Yeah. No. All I'm saying is at what point is it a conversation to look at the form of these guys and say, oh, like we don't have all these spots. Like I get it. Like I agree. At what point do you look at the form and say Goddard's got, 5 straight? He hasn't finished outside the top 25 in 10 starts. He's got a win at the Scottish Open, a top 3 at the Open. Like at what point do you start saying is that's worth a little more than Colin's form, JT's form, or fucking Cantlay's form. I'm not saying every single one of them shouldn't be on the team. I'm saying it should be a conversation. So
yeah,
I also don't disagree that it's not a conversation. I think they will be on the team. I'm saying I think it should be, though. That's my point.
Yeah, I just think past Goddard and Ben Griffin, it gets really weak on the U.S. side.
But you just put Harris English on the team. I think Burns.
I think there are two spots open.
Ben Griffin's not on my team.
No,
he's in the conversation 100%.
But I think there's like two spots open.
Last thing we're gonna say on the Ryder Cup, because like I still have Chris Paris is in the chat. I need to get you my 3M article tonight too. I wanted to cut us off in an hour, and since
I'm done.
Okay, can we talk 3M for 5 to 10 minutes? Yeah, let's talk 3M for 5 to 10 minutes. Wait, this is my final Ryder Cup question. Actually, I'm going to get a quick bottle of water, but you answer this to Kyle, and then Kyle will give me the recap. So what's going to happen with Keegan? And then you give your take.
He's playing. I think
you know what? We're going to be on for 10 minutes. I can hold my water.
Oh, yeah, duo, Chris.
Okay. Okay, so let's do some 3M. Kyle owes me best ball rankings too.
Yeah, I forgot about.
I can write for the news if Josh is here. I was going to write some stuff I've been sitting on about Liberty National.
I've got the winner of 3M. If we want to start there,
let's fucking send it, dude. The DraftKings odds are out. We don't have a producer for the show. Brian, do you know how to share your screen?
I can share it.
Share it, dude.
I do it. Okay.
Put up the DK odds.
I'll do it. Just talk for a second.
Okay. Kyle, start us off. Who do you think wins the 3M?
You hit Johnny Vegas here last year.
I did hit Johnny Vegas here last year.
Andy's got great form here.
I've got great form here. I was driving back from Oak Hill on a Sunday, and I stopped the car and watched it in a parking lot from a hotspot, Johnny Vegas, win the 3M Open because I needed to sweat it. It was a sweat, by the way, down the stretch.
Literally squeaked his way across the finish line.
Yeah, he barely won. 70-1 is 70-1, though. That was back when golf betting was easy, and I had hit Davis Thompson like a week ago, too.
The glory days.
The glory days when we hit 10 outrights last year, and now everything is I'm seeing it well. I'm confident in the 3M Open. I like the 3M a lot. I've had good history here. I like the golf course. I think people, if there's one golf course take that I can give, I think people overrate distance here a little bit as opposed to accuracy. I think the guy that ends up winning a lot of the time happens to be quite long. But like Lee Hodges, JT Poston, Kevin Strelman, Martin Laird, Michael Thompson, Adam Long, those are some of the straight up shortest drivers on the PGA Tour. Like distance is not a prerequisite for you needing to be able to play.
I also don't think it's like a pure birdie fest.
Well, okay, it's not, Brian, but the one thing that I will say about this week is that they got a lot of rainfall. So I actually think it's going to be easier this week than it was in previous years because the golf course is going to be super soft and receptive. But
I think that's a -21 winner.
Correct. Totally agree. And what I would separate the difference between TPC Twin Cities gets ragged on a lot compared to like the other Bentgrass Birdie Fests, like TPC Deer Run, TPC River Highlands Detroit Golf Club. And those three golf clubs are very, very similar because they are all bentgrass, wedges, and putting. TPC Twin Cities is the different one from them. TPC Twin Cities is like a Florida golf course. Like the best comp for TPC Twin Cities is PGA National, TPC Southwind. Water comes into play on 15 holes.
You got to hit
TPC Twin Cities. So the number one thing that I would say at TPC Twin Cities, it's actually more of a ball striking golf course than the other Bentgrass Birdie Fest putting contest. That's my 120-second course breakdown. I want guys that keep the ball in play off the tee and are great middle to long iron players.
Yeah, I like Scott Piercy this week.
Fuck off.
What he contended when Finau won. It was like leading
Tim Walls. I think Steel Freak is like just an awesome troll. Maybe he's pretending to be Vincent.
I think he's like in on our jokes a little bit. So
Perhaps could be a Discord guy. Who knows? Love Mark Allen.
Burns 15. I'm out.
No,
Goddard up 16.
too
I'm
short.
out. Mav 19. That number should be higher. Wyndham Clark 25. I don't know.
No,
I'm not betting the top of the board.
the first guy.
Gray's lost in terrible
No
fashion last
Grazerman.
year. He's
No
dead.
Grazerman. No.
The first guy on my card is going to be Thor. I do think
I was
I
Goddard.
knew
thinking
this
that
was
as well.
coming.
I do think Goddard's scary at 16, but I'm not going to bet.
Fair enough.
Goddard.
I
I'm not
guess no chance.
I disagree, but I'm not going to bet.
Go
I'm not.
fuck yourself.
Okay, cool. I will.
I'm with you, Kyle. Goddard, like, what evidence do we have that Goddard's just going to stop playing well? Like, maybe he knows that he
He
needs to
can't
make the
play
Ryder
well in
Cup this week.
Minnesota. He's a Jersey guy. He only plays well overseas.
Did you see Rumson got a shout out on the broadcast?
RCC,
Donald
baby.
Rumson?
No, Rumson Country
Kyle, I've
Club.
heard that golf course is really
I'm
good.
playing it. I'm playing Rumson Country Club because
I have one buddy. Do you ever know my friend Frank Luby? He's a Duke guy.
No.
He's a Rumson guy. Charlie Edler. He played on the Dartmouth golf team. Anyway, I've heard Rumson Country Club's really good.
Yeah, it's supposed to be beautiful.
There's some waterfront holes.
One of my friends is getting married there, so
Hell yeah.
I'm excited. But he also, you know what else? Oh, here's a good comp course, and part of the reason Myrtle Beach, which is a course that plays very similarly to this.
Is there a lot of water there, Kyle?
Ton of water, big boy golf course, need to have great total driving. Like the overlap of those leaderboards, if you want like my, the Kyle comps. No, but I do think Goddard could very easily play well. Who's to say he doesn't withdraw from the tournament either? I mean, coming off a win and a third place. And then I think the winner, my initial winner, I opened up the odds board, and for whatever reason, Jesper Svensson, winner, 55-1. He's the winner of the golf tournament.
I love Jesper. I love him on driver putter golf courses. And to me, this is more like keep it in play, middle to long irons. But I need to do a deeper dive because he fucking played out of his mind on Sunday, didn't he?
Ball striking was like one of the best ball strikers in the field at the Open.
Yeah.
He
Oh God.
He's the European Lee Hodges.
I'm curious.
Oh, dude, Jesper Svensson's ball striking numbers in round 4 literally just broke my fucking computer.
Yeah.
I'm curious the percentage of winners that have played in the Open Championship that have won here.
Well, I think it's moved around.
Yeah, well, I know it's been at the week after since 2023.
What about Vegas? I don't know off the top of my head.
I don't think Vegas played in the Open.
Yeah.
I'm betting EVR 80.
He played well at
he's playing well in CUDA. I like EVR 80.
Oh my God, Steel Freak really gets some of the lore.
Yeah, we might know him.
He's really in on some of these inside jokes. That's pretty cool. Devin, I don't think that TPC Twin Cities is a good golf course architecturally, but I think it tests players in a pro golf. Yeah, test players in a better way. Like the finish is actually pretty good. Like there's a lot of water on the finish. It's pretty high leverage. Like basically what I like about TPC Twin Cities compared to Detroit Golf Club, TPC River Highlands. By the way, Devin, it's great to have you back in the chat. We miss you.
Yeah,
I love having you back in the chat. I love when you interact on our live shows and are in the Discord. You're one of my favorites to talk golf with. So I know you've been going through some family stuff, and it's just great to have you around. If our shows can be a solace to you, to hopefully smile and laugh and hear some idiots talking about golf to maybe get your mind off things. We love having you around. What I will say about TPC Twin Cities is that I think I like that you can go backwards too. You know what I mean? Like at Detroit Golf Club,
I think it's a solid.
It's really hard for guys to go backwards. Yeah.
I've got some more names.
Okay, give us a couple more names.
Yeah, I think I'm betting EVR 80 right now. He's just about to finish runner-up at CUDA.
Also,
I like Sam
Brian's
Stevens.
betting.
I like Fish.
I was just going to say Brian's betting Patrick Fishburne. I can tell you.
I think I have to. He sucks. He's probably not good at golf, but
played well here last year, though.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
I think he had a 6th place finish here last year.
Yeah, I'll probably bet you, EVR, Fish.
If you don't bet yes for Svensson, I'm done.
Haiti Springs, maybe.
My other names, my initial leans: Jacob Bridgman, 55; Kevin Waugh, 75. Ball striking son of a bitch, just hits it really straight, which I like.
I love Kevin Yu this week. Do you think I should bet that now?
No.
Do you think it's you don't think 55 is a good number?
I don't think
he's 50 right now. I think it's fair. I think you'll be able to get that tomorrow.
That's what I'm saying.
You think I'll be able to get a 55 on you tomorrow?
Yeah, maybe even higher.
Okay.
And then who was the last two guys I like? These are some bombs. Ben Coles.
Yes, very accurate.
200.
Why did he withdraw from Kuda though?
He withdrew from Kuda. Did not know that.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Off the list.
Okay, I need to reconsider that one. Then Brendan Valdez, Auburn kid, 3rd place on the Corn Ferry Tour. Amazing total driver of the ball, 450 to 1.
Kyle touting this guy is murdering me.
This is a good question for Kyle. You would know. Kyle, I gotta be honest. I like Clanton more than Thor this week.
That's an insane take. I don't know what you could possibly.
Do you want me to make the case?
Happily.
First of all, Clanton's at a. What are you talking about? Clanton's at a. First of all,
he can't putt. He can't putt or chip.
Dude, these are like the slowest, easiest greens on the PGA Tour, and short game doesn't matter here like at all.
Okay.
If there's any golf course to take a chance on a bad putter finding form on like bent grass, easy flat greens where short game doesn't matter at all. Luke Clanton, I've always thought that Luke Clanton's best skill is middle to long iron play and the fact that he's long and straight. You disagree, Kyle?
No, I'm sorry. I didn't let you finish the point. I think his best skill is his driver, which you were
driver. Yeah, fair enough. Kyle, do you think for driver skill? I mean, I could look at the statistical answer, but do you think more of an asset to him is his length or his straightness?
I think it's a combination. I think
me too.
But I think Thor. I'm not disputing. By the way,
I like Thor too. I think
Thor's driver right now is a weapon.
Yes.
Like if you look at his driving stat, he's hitting it long. He's hitting it straight. He's got JJ on the bag. I think he's figured something out the past couple weeks. So I'm just going to continue to be on him. I could bet Clanton. Like I could be sold on Clanton.
Yeah. Mark, I understand that
ball striking's been there
better than Clanton. That's why he's a lower number. I'm saying as a bet, I prefer Clanton number than the Thor number. I may bet both.
Yeah, same. I would wait though on Thor is what I would say. I don't think DraftKings numbers, these numbers, like what I've noticed is these numbers don't move that quickly. The DraftKings numbers, there's one or two that'll move, but your guess is as good as mine as to which ones those are.
Dude, we get CLV every single week, and it doesn't help.
Yeah, well, I was just going to say, like, what I've noticed for what it's worth is, like, DraftKings puts these lines out. There might be one or two numbers that adjust. FanDuel puts numbers out generally that are slightly better than DraftKings numbers. DraftKings immediately reacts to that when FanDuel puts their numbers out and tries to rebalance it, so not everybody's going to FanDuel to put their bets in. So that's how I've noticed the odds actually react.
You'd wait on everyone. I bet Clanton 45, but I have a cash out option, I believe.
Yeah, I think there's a very good chance.
It'll definitely be way higher on Bookmaker.
Think so?
Bookmaker for Clanton has been hanging.
They don't like Clanton.
They don't seem to like
him
that much.
Settle down, Brian.
But no, so like if you asked me at the beginning of the year, I do think the DraftKings numbers were moving a lot quicker, and now I don't think the numbers are moving as quickly. And I think you're better off waiting to see what FanDuel is tomorrow. Me personally.
Now I'm starting to doubt myself on Clanton because all you guys are anti-Clanton, and Devin's a huge Clanton guy.
I'm not
Devin doesn't like it.
I'm not anti-Clanton. I could be in on Clanton.
He won the Louis Cheetah Memorial in college a month ago. So, I mean, he's really freaking good. Last results on tour, T65 cut, T60, T34 cut.
But game ball striking.
Anyway,
Yeah,
guys,
he cannot putt, and
we've
he's
got to
off
go.
road.
Anyway, we've got to give it up for Steve. If you want a deeper dive on the 3M Open, you're not going to find a better course breakdown out there than our guy Twitterless Steve, who will run through the golf course from start to finish. And if you liked this free podcast at all, leave a comment. I got to get better at doing this stuff. It takes
Like and
2
sub.
seconds. If you watch this, like and sub. But I want the comment to be, how many majors does Scottie Scheffler finish with? Comment below. And I will find you in 10 years and give you like a 200.
Come back in 15 years.
Because it's obviously the most ridiculous like longevity thing to ask of somebody. But seriously, comment, because I'll go back and look and we'll talk about him next week. Comment, takes 2 seconds, what you think Scottie Scheffler finishes his career with majors wise. I'm going to say 9.
I'll go
Yet if you get it right in 15 years, if
they're in the world,
we send you a care package.
Sure.
you get to join.
What's your guys' you just have to give one number. I'm going to say Scottie Scheffler does not finish his career with double-digit majors. I think he wins 9 majors.
I think he wins 8. I think 9 is pretty crazy.
He could be the 3rd best golfer of all time with 9 majors.
Kyle?
Chris thinks 12.
I think he wins 8.5.
Yeah.
Personally.
He has 2 players also. Does that count as well?
That's 1. That's 1.
So he's
That
really got
equals
5. Fuck.
Guys, he could just win the players every other year for the next decade too. Like that's a perfect golf course for him.
Yeah.
What's up, Andrew? Why'd you say what the fuck? We gotta go. Okay. Love you guys. Cheers.
Okay. Bye.
Bye-bye.